Good afternoon, welcome to BD Insights. This is where we analyze critical issues affecting Nigeria's economy. I am Amadi Chinelili, and with me is our in-house analyst, is Mr. Patrick Atwaya. Welcome, Mr. Patrick. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Bios. Thank you, Chinel.
Okay, so tell me, Mr. Patrick, it's 1 week to the elections, like Nigeria's elections. So what are we looking at? What are you watching?
Okay, we have about 7 days, give or take, for the presidential elections. And for now, we don't see any of the two political parties telling us what exactly it is they want to do for the country. So basically, we're still having a lot of gimmicks with things like change or transformation, but nobody really knows what those words mean when it comes to the economy. So in that aspect, I decided to come up with a word for any of the two political parties which clearly tells what Nigeria needs at a particular point in time, which is productivity. The country has to boost its productivity in terms of roads, rail, the airports, the seaports, broadband, and infrastructure generally. So what does productivity do for you? We'll see that a lot of the growth that Nigeria has been having since 1999 till now has basically been, you could call it organic growth, right? So we are leveraging off our population. So either in telecoms, there was a huge backlog of demand for telecommunications, and because of the large population, every year you see more and more people having telecoms, phones and all that. If you come to cement and housing, it's the same thing. There's a huge backlog of demand for those goods, and because we didn't have the capacity, so as long as the capacity was being built, there was a natural growth year over year. But we cannot really go to the next level without building productivity into this organic growth that we're having to actually make us boost the total growth rate, faster or maybe into double digits. So everywhere you look around, there's a slowdown on growth from a lack of productivity in all aspects of the economy. So if you want to go from, just within Lagos, if you want to go from one end of the states to the other, you cannot do it under 2 or 3 hours, and it's something, if there was a rail line or a subway system, that you should be able to do under 30 minutes, and when the rain starts, it will take like 3 or 4 hours, So, and when you look at, shipping goods into the country, how long they stay at the ports, how that translates into higher costs of production, whether it's cost of the goods for the end users, and then shipping it from the ports to the hinterland. If you had a good railway system, it would, give a boost to productivity and make, those goods get to all parts of the country and be less expensive. When you look at also your broadband infrastructure, there's a saying that if you add broadband, it will add like 1 or 2 or 3% to your GDP growth rates. So the two political parties, if they are looking for a buzzword, beyond the tired old cliches of change and transformation, maybe they should look at productivity and how we can enhance productivity growth in Nigeria's economy with building out some of this infrastructure that will make the economy go to the next level.
Okay, so I noticed something. I noticed the stocks have begun to sell off again. What are the reasons for this? Do you think there are reasons?
Yes. Okay. Basically, the markets are a little bit jittery from the elections. Again, historically in Nigeria, you always had a clear-cut front runner at this point in time. Whether their elections were free or fair or not, but you always had an inkling of who was going to win. Right now, we don't have that, so the markets are a little bit jittery. And added to that is the uncertainty in terms of any economic or even political direction. any of each of these two candidates might take. If you had like the PDP win, you could also still have a National Assembly that is divided that might stall whatever the president wants to do in the second term. And also vice versa, if you had the APC win, you could also have a situation whereby, because a lot of the crises that might come up, maybe in the Niger Delta, might limit his ability to really get much done. So stocks are really not very, they're looking into the future. They're seeing a lot of uncertainty, and the investors are selling off and taking profits. However, we still see some high quality names, which, if you look at a stock like Guaranteed Trust Bank, it has been selling in a range of between 17 and 25 since early December. So that's a stock investors can watch. Put in a buy order at around the 17 mark, and then sell when it gets to 25, because it has been really bouncing off a range. And they came out with very good earnings, so we don't see the stock going below that support of the 17 mark, unless if the elections go horribly wrong and you have serious crisis after that. But we don't foresee that happening. So that's one stock you could buy. Another stock we're looking at is Dangote Cement. We are waiting on the full year 2014 results to come out. We think they will also good. The company has a lot of potential with its Africa play. A lot of reports have come out recently talking about how Africa needs a lot of infrastructure spend to catch up with the rest of the continent. And I think we see Dangote Cement as uniquely positioned to tap into this opportunity. I think it's one for the future. It's also a little bit depressed. The stock has gone from around 230-ish last year to 153 as at today, and we see upside in the stock, but it will be at the other end of this political exercise that we're waiting for. So I just investors should look at beating down stocks that have good strong potential, and look over a longer term period, maybe 2-3 years down the line, and they'll get rewarded for taking action now. And they should also trade around their positions, right? So if you buy a stock at like GTB at 17, there's nothing stopping you from taking some profits around 25, and then but still keep the core of your holdings, and then just trade around those positions. Because there's always the saying that the bulls make money, bears make money, but the pigs get slaughtered. So that's that.
Okay, so any last thoughts on the elections? And then what do you think are the prospects of Nigeria post March 28th, which is after elections?
Well, Nigeria's prospects are good. I think we've managed to box ourselves into a dangerous situation now where everybody's looking at the election as a zero-sum game. I don't think it's a zero-sum game. If you lose, any of the parties, if you lose at the federal level, you can still pick some seats at the Senate or at the governorship level. So it doesn't have to be the end of the world scenario that we're seeing now. But the forecast is that the elections will come and go well. There will be minimal crisis. It will be like an anticlimax. That is, our forecast. And I'm not ready to go out on a limb and predict who is going to win. So I have my own personal opinions. But coming out on the other side, I mean, it's 4 years. It's going to be another 4 years of rapid growth for the economy. There has to be, change or transformation, whatever you want to call it, post the elections, because the economic scenario is going to force that change, whereby the oil prices are falling. There's very little government revenues and all that. So there really has to be a lot of work on, like the PIB, the power reforms has to be stepped up. Just changing the business environment for the country making it more business friendly. When you look at a lot of indices where Nigeria is ranked, we're ranked very poorly. The next government, whoever it might be, has to work on moving Nigeria up the rankings. A lot of all these indices, whether it's corruption indices or ease of doing business, or, stuff like that. Then also at the state level, the state governors also have to step it up. Every city like Lagos, has come far, but there's still so much that needs to be done. The subway or light rail infrastructure just has to be completed. I think it's the only city of its size without a functional rail system and intra-rail system, intra-city rail system that's within the city. And that, that just won't work if you're trying to be a global city, a 21st century city. So the airport, the road to the airport is a mess. There should be some serious thoughts about, building a brand new airport that could serve as a hub, for the West African region. Work should be accelerated on the Lagos Lekki port, the first deep sea port in the country. So there's a lot to be done, and we don't have to waste time squabbling over election results and all that, because the country there's so much that has to be done. So the outlook is good. We have a couple of things going for us: the gas reserves, the demographics, even the oil itself. But we just have to find a way to make sure that the country benefits and the citizens benefit from all this.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your time. I'm still Amadi Chinebili, and this is Business Insight.